Sagittarius, what's going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Sagittarius Tarot reading. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of doing a love reading today, we're going to do a what's blocking you reading. So we're going to take a look at what your attention and awareness needs brought to about what's blocking you, what's holding you back, what's getting in your way, what's slowing you down from living the kind of life that you really want as we move into January 2025. I'm going to get 3 cards from this Lantern Oracle deck to take a look at that. Then I'm going to clarify everything with a second deck just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of what's really going on here between, what's blocking you. And then I'm going to finish this reading off by getting you some advice from the universe on what you need to be focused on about yourself, what you need to be reminded of about yourself so that you can move forward past these blockages here in January 2025. So let's get started. What's blocking Sagittarius here in January 2025, please? Let's get 2 more, please. Okay, we'll take both of those. That sounds good to me. Let's see what we've got. First card in your blockages, card 15, Distorted Desire. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. Central to your blockages, we have card 44, the Lantern. Consciousness is light. And then we have card 31, Intention. Lacking personal direction begets confusion, and life is a pawn to someone else's game of chess. So these are the things that are blocking you. First, we're going to look at distorted desire. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. So let's take a look at that and get some more clarity here. Tell me more about distorted desire. Why is that a blockage here for Sagittarius, please? Let's see. Underlying this distorted desire energy, 5 of Swords. I knew I was going to see this in your reading when I was doing the shuffling before I started the camera, getting all my intentions set and getting everything ready. This card jumped out of this deck 2 different times. 5 of Swords is a conflict. This is a conflict in thinking. It's a mind card, a sword energy here. This could be a conflict in the way you're thinking about something. This is at its core is about mental and psychological pain, a painful situation or a painful event happening. Conscious desires rarely satisfy the unconscious need driving it. The unconscious need would be a cup suit here, and I don't have any cups in this column here. This is telling me that you got something that you wanted, and however it is you're thinking about it isn't allowing you to be satisfied with it. Yeah, I've got the Ace of Swords right underneath that. Again, confirmation that how you're thinking about it is got a big role to play here. This is the sword you would cut something away with. It's the sword of truth, the sword of clarity. When I clarify this, I get the Page of Wands, the 6 of Swords, and the Hermit. Pages are messengers, so this is news, messages, communications about passion, desire, expressing interest. It's about being at the beginning stages of taking the very first steps down a new path to get this thing that you want. And it's almost like I took the steps, and this is like a not fully developed view of something, and there's some sort of a painful situation related to this. This is almost feeling like you're not satisfied with something even though you have it. And I've got 6 of Swords next, which is the card that comes right after this 5 of Swords. At its core, this card is about moving away from the mental and psychological pain you experienced in the 5 of Swords. This is about moving forward into calmer waters. It's about leaving rough, choppy waters of your past behind you and moving away from that, moving forward into clarity, moving into the future toward what it is that you want. There is an implied choice that comes with this energy, though. in this energy, a painful thing has already happened. It's in the past and you can't change that. Your real power is in what do I do moving forward into my future? Do I carry the burden that this painful situation has caused, carry that burden into my future so it continues to weigh me down and hold me back and block me? Or do I carry forward the lesson I learned from this into my future so that something like this doesn't happen again? So we have some sort of a blockage here related to taking the first steps on something, some sort of a blockage here about leaving something behind you and moving away from it. This is usually like not wanting to let go of something. And then I have the Hermit with that, which is a card of introspection. This is about withdrawal, isolation, being forced inside yourself to do some soul searching, to do some deep inner reflection, some deep contemplation, trying to figure out what adjustments do I need to make about myself so I can move forward the way I want to. I'm using the Lantern Oracle deck here to find out what your blockages are related to. And he's carrying the lantern. It's about shining that light down inside yourself. This is about looking in your own shadow for something and making adjustments to something about yourself. There's some problem for you here about what you consciously want versus is that actually fulfilling the need you have? And I don't think it is. I think it's causing some sort of a painful thing for you here. I've got a lot of sword energy here. Yeah, and I've also got this holding on tightly to something, not wanting to let go of something, fighting for it. Like, this is like something that you already have, it feels like, and it's not getting you what you want. And this is about like, let's go inside yourself and look at that. What is it that you actually want that you're trying to get out of whatever this thing is that you're doing? Central for your blockages is the Lantern, which again is here in this Hermit card. Consciousness is light. So to me, that means focusing your consciousness on something is how you're going to expose it. It's how you're going to illuminate it. It's how you're going to be able to see, to make these adjustments. Like you can't be in the hermit mode and looking inside yourself. Like that's what it's about, like bringing your conscious awareness internal to you so you can figure out what adjustments to make. Tell me about this, please. There's something that you need to look at about yourself. Underlying that energy, the Chariot. This is a card at its core that is about the will to overcome problems or obstacles or something that's in your way. It's about trying to get past it through sheer willpower alone. There is a misalignment represented on the card. I have a black sphinx and a white sphinx. That represents the dark side, the shadow side of someone, what you would be looking at inside yourself, versus the outward appearances, like the light side of it, the part that's exposed, that's not hidden. And those two things pulling in different directions here. And this is a card about like the driver has to be in full alignment. In other words, both of those sides of himself have to be pulling in the same direction. He doesn't have reins. He uses willpower alone. And if he's not in alignment, if those parts of himself aren't pulling in the same direction, this doesn't move. It doesn't go forward, or worse yet, it will rip itself in half by pulling itself in two different directions as it moves forward. In this first column, I've got two cards facing to the right to the future and one card facing backwards to the past. I don't have that same misalignment here, so that's good. Yeah, there's a tower in the background behind this. There's something that you're trying to overcome through willpower, and it's been a big change for you, and there's the moon behind it, which is like something that you're not seeing, that you're not aware of. It's fear, worry, anxiety, usually from uncertainty, not being able to see clearly. Even the lady on this lantern card seems to have her eyes covered here. There's something that you're not seeing in terms of what you're trying to overcome. There's a piece inside of you, unconscious piece of you, that's pulling in a different direction. And I think this is about trying to expose that for yourself so you can see it. You can't deal with the problem until you're willing to face it. And then you can't fix it until you're willing to like look at it and shine the light on it and get a better idea of what's happening. When I clarify this lantern energy, I get the 10 of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles. 10 of Swords is a swift, painful ending to something. This is sometimes an ending you don't see coming. No matter how you slice this energy, it's an ending. But there also is the dawn of a new day in the background. So this is the completion of some darkness, as long as you're willing to look inside yourself here. You have some sort of a blockage related to something ending, and maybe not releasing it, maybe like wanting to continue moving forward, maybe wanting to overcome whatever the collapse of it was and not being certain whether that can be done or not. I think part of what you're not seeing is I don't know that you're supposed to be overcoming it. It's like whatever it was trying to fulfill a need, and it wasn't actually fulfilling the need. And it's time to like reassess what that need actually is so you can fill it the right way. I've got the Knight of Pentacles next, which is the slowest knight in the deck. Very slow forward movement, monotonous. Like this is usually really frustrating, make you want to pull your hair out kind of an energy here. It's about that slow drip. Like this is the fastest energy in tarot, and I've got the contrast here of the slow energy here. This feels like something not happening as quickly as you want it to. It can also represent as a blockage. This can be someone who knows what they're supposed to do but doesn't do it for some reason. He's got the Ace of Pentacles in his hand, the seed of abundance, but the fields in the background are empty. Even though he knows he has it, he just hasn't planted it yet. It can also represent a person who knows what they're not supposed to do and is doing it anyway, because he knows he's not supposed to just sit here and do nothing, but that is what he's doing. There's some forward movement that's supposed to be taking place here based on an ending that's happened. I've got the 9 of Pentacles next, which is, it's about self-sufficiency. I can take care of myself. I've got everything I need physically and financially. I don't need someone else to take care of me. I can do that on my own. This is about reaping the rewards of the work that you've put in. This is also about like slow, steady progress on something. There's something you're supposed to be leaving behind. This is also like a single energy, like being physically single, independent, self-sufficient. Maybe you have a blockage related to that you're supposed to be taking a look at. I've got this idea of something ending, this single energy, this idea of trying to overcome the collapse of something. You may have had a relationship that came apart and you still have fear, worry, anxiety, uncertainty, lack of clarity about what's going on there. Maybe you think there's some way to continue moving forward with it. But then there's another piece of you that's saying, hey, look, because that wasn't filling your needs. Whatever this thing was, whether it was a relationship or something else, you got to take a look at whether it was actually fulfilling your unconscious desires and not just your conscious ones. Final card for you is Intention. Lacking personal direction begets confusion, and life is a pawn to someone else's game of chess. Reminds me of that saying, you're either going to have a plan for your life or you're going to fit into someone else's plan. Tell me about intention, please. Why is that a blockage for Sagittarius? Taking an extra card here. No biggie. Underlying this intention energy, strength. This is about going through some difficult situation that's taking all of your internal strength to make it through it. You have the strength to make it through it. You're just being forced to dig down deep inside yourself and find it. This can sometimes also be an energy of a person who's trying to tame this beast inside themselves, trying to rein themselves in, trying to hold themselves back from going after something that they desire a lot, that they have this drive for. I've got this unconscious drive not being fulfilled. I've got an intention here of either you having a direction for your life and what you want, or you're going to fit into someone else's plan for what it is that they want. I don't think that what you have in front of you right now, whatever that is filling your needs as much as it's filling someone else's needs. Yeah, I've got the Five of Swords in the background again. This is like an unfair situation where the deck is stacked against you and someone else is going to be the only one to benefit. This is almost like you holding yourself back from what you want to fit in with what someone else wants, and it's not getting you where you need to go. This is almost like, hey, looking at whether I would be better going this alone, whether that's a relationship, a business thing, whatever this is. When I clarify intentions, I get Four of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Page of Pentacles, Six of Cups. The Four of Cups is an energy of not being fully emotionally happy or content with what you have in front of you. So much that you're daydreaming about this other cup, this other thing that you think would lead you to your happiness and fulfillment, but I don't have that here. I have this other thing that I'm not happy with. This is someone else's thing that you have. And this row here, this is about you having the willingness to take the first steps down a brand new path toward what it is that you want, what you have desire for. It's about moving in that direction, because you're not happy with what you have, and it's time to end that. You're fitting into someone else's plan right now, and that's why it's not fulfilling you. I have the Wheel of Fortune next, which is a change in luck and fortune. If things are going great, this would be a sign that things are about to take a dramatic turn and probably take a left turn into the telephone pole. If things have not been going great, which it doesn't look like they have, this is a sign that you can turn it around. You can correct course. You can get back on track so that what's supposed to happen can happen. This is feeling like the pivotal moment where something can shift, something can change. It's also at its core about that dynamic of fate and destiny versus free will, and which side of that are you on? And this is really an indicator that both are true at the same time. There is fate. There are things that you can't really control, that you can't really change. You have free will still in those situations. What do you choose to do with that? How do you choose to play your hand? Are you going to do what it is that you want and follow your own direction, or are you going to keep going with someone else's direction here? This can be a repeating cycle of something. If that's the case, you could be stuck in a repeating cycle of not being fully happy with what you've got and thinking about this other thing that you want instead. It can be a repeating cycle of slow movement of you not doing what it is that you know you're supposed to be doing, or continuing to do something that you know you're not when there is an option to leave that behind and move forward. Next, I have the Page of Pentacles, which is news, messages, communications about some physical opportunity presenting itself. This is also a person who has this early stage plan for their future. It's not a fully developed plan yet. It's tied to this Nine of Pentacles, this reaping the rewards of the work that I've put in. Abundant kind of an energy here. In a blockage sense, this could be like at the beginning stage of some physical opportunity and haven't communicated that, or the plan that I have for it maybe it's not fully developed. Maybe you just keep going round and round in circles with the plan and not actually doing anything with it. Maybe that's what you really need to be looking at internally. What is it that you actually want here? Because it feels like you're going along with what someone else wants instead of looking at what you want. I've got the Six of Cups as the final card for you here. This is a card about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about the past. Can be something from the past coming back up again and happening again, especially when I have the Wheel of Fortune in the same column. It could be a repeat of some past thing with some not fully developed plan for the future. It seems like what's off about it is the action being taken. It seems to be going along with what someone else wants, and you're holding yourself back from doing what you want. Maybe that's something that's already happened for you before. As a blockage, this would be putting too much focus on the past, getting stuck in reminiscing, getting stuck by like some history of something, a repeat of something from the past that was in your way. You have what you need to make this how you want it to be. It's just a matter of like shining the light on it and looking at it and making an actual choice instead of just going with the flow is what it feels like. Let's get you some advice from the universe on what it is you need reminded of about yourself so that you can move past these blockages here as we move into January 2025. Come here. Let's get one more. What does Sagittarius need reminded of? Thank you. Spontaneity. You move beyond the constraints of the mind and freely and lovingly embrace new situations. I've got a card about moving away from something and moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. Or being stuck in a cycle of not doing what it is I should do and not being happy and continuing to grind on my plan. This is spontaneity. This is screaming, just do it. Move beyond the constraints of the mind. Quit thinking about it and do it. Acceptance. You are ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. I've got what looks like you being stuck on something from the past or someone that you have some kind of a history with and going more in line with what they want versus what you want. And this is about accepting that it's time to release control. This core problem, this distorted desire of like the conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. You're not being satisfied, and it's time to accept moving on and releasing something so that you can go find what it is you truly want. Cooperation is your last card. In your quest to manifest the energy of love, you realize that every person and experience has value. So even what you've been going through with either this person or this situation, it has value to you. You're like co-creating something here. Like something is supposed to happen for you. It's something related to your plan and not whoever the other person's plan is, whether that's your career, your relationship, a family member, a friend, somebody. It's someone or something that you have history with. And even if you are releasing it, it is still like co-created something with you.